Carrie, unmute yourself. Hello, Carrie.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, I unmuted you.
Okay. Okay. Well, I had to run to the corner store here, so I'll only be here about 10 minutes. So if it gets a little bit noisy in the background, I'll hurry up. But I have to get something for tomorrow.
Okay.
But
okay. If you want to speak, hit *6 and talk to us. Okay.
Okay. By your silence, then we're going to say you don't want to listen, so we're going to go. We're done.
Hey, Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a couple questions from a friend of mine down here in Houston.
Yeah.
And this is about the email I just sent.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know if you had time to read it or not, because you said you've been busy.
Not.
I fully understand that.
Yeah, I have not. But go ahead and ask it.
Okay, so 2 questions. Actually, 3. Has anyone ever paid the filing fee for tax court?
Yes, they have.
And received a dismissal for the lack of jurisdiction for no? So the answer to that one is no.
Yep, not to my knowledge.
Okay. So let me explain what's going on with him then.
All right.
He has tried 3 times, and each time the case got dismissed once the NODs came up.
Okay. Stop for just a second. When you say that, not everybody knows what an NOD is, so we can help if everybody get their arms around it. Tell us what an NOD is.
An NOD is a notice of determination.
All right.
Okay. So he's been round and round for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
He filed your advice, went to tax court, did not pay the fee.
Right.
The judge ordered 2 things. For him to pay the fee, which he did not do. The second thing he ordered was for the IRS to produce the NODs.
Right.
The deadline came and went for the IRS to produce the NODs. They did not. But the judge signed the order dismissing the case for non-payment of $50.
Yes. It's 60, but yes.
Well, whatever. So that's where he's sitting right now. So his idea was to pay the filing fee, put the IRS commissioner in a bind when they get asked again to produce the NODs and they don't.
Okay.
And
next time they might.
And then produces IMFs indicating that he never got them, and they're not on the IMFs.
Okay, let me tell you what I would do. I would do that, but what I would do is I would send in a new document saying he never received it, and then send his IMF along with it.
Saying he never received what?
He never received a notice of deficiency.
Okay.
Then put that with it.
Okay, so just repeat yourself and then include the IMFs. Okay.
And the reason for that, and don't pay it, because if they come back and say they did it, now there's a problem.
Okay. Can you explain
that's how I would do it.
He's going to listen to this later on.
Well, what the problem is, if he pays the $60, he is now on the administration side, and they can say anything they want, and Title 26 is the hammer. If he tells them that he never received a notice of deficiency, I never received a notice of determination, and then give him his IMF with it on the way in, then what? Then, see, in other words, it's just it's doing the same thing, but the $60 concerns me, because every time anybody that I know pays the $60, they get themselves in a bind.
Gotcha. Okay, question number 2.
All right.
Has anyone ever paid the filing fee and had a case move forward and the government produced the NODs?
No.
Okay.
Anytime they pay the $60, they come back and he dismisses it for lack. He dismisses it. They dismiss it for whatever reason, but it's not to his advantage.
Gotcha.
Now, there's some cases out there you can go out and see where they were really doing well. And all of a sudden they paid the $60 because they just thought maybe this would help, and the court turned on them and ate them.
And that was my next question that he had. If so, please put the docket numbers.
Right, and what I will do is I will email you afterwards what the man's name is so you can go look at it. I don't want to say it on the air because if it makes you mad, then I could be liable for something.
No.
After it's over, I will email you the guy's or the girl's name.
Thank you.
That did it, and then you can go out and look it up, and you can follow it right along.
Gotcha.
And you'll see. Okay, then you'll see why I say that.
Now, I know you probably may not know this one, but how come they don't put the stuff that you file on the internet? Is it
because
for private concerns, maybe?
They don't. Right. They don't want people to do this. That's the only reason I can just come up with. They don't want people doing this.
Sir, so I have a recent history here, and it has to do with I filed in January 2018 the standard petition, according to the instructions, lack of deficiency, lack of determination. And I guess I've gotten a couple of objections back from the respondent during that period of time where, again, that whole question of the $60 came into play. Kind of moving on here, and then I had another one that was filed on behalf of my other family member where they motioned to dismiss petition for lack of jurisdiction and strike, and it's not really clarified at all. It's just sort of something that the respondent did for no reason at all, but they asked me to follow up and answer that. They gave reasons that they know that they didn't do it. They can't find it in their history. 12 years has gone by. They can't find it. They don't show notice that they've sent the notice of deficiency or determination either. And they just kind of continue on. I guess I received some stuff here on Friday and again today because I actually called them to ask them for clarification. I didn't try to speak with them about that. I just asked them, what is this? And they're telling me stuff like the dismiss for lack of, and again, it's dismiss for lack of jurisdiction and strike. And there's another one that is they just dismiss. The two. Let me move on here. But I wanted to ask you the question on how I proceed to the district court, if that's what I do. They've got me quite confused right now. They dismiss ED, wordplay. And but basically one of them has to do with my failure. Mine was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction because I didn't pay the $60. The other was just dismissed because they called me on my voicemail according to what they said. I didn't answer. I didn't object. And so the actual court dismissed it based upon my lack of response. Peace. Tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody said Terry. What's that?
Sir?
Yeah, somebody called my name. What you need? Okay. Okay, let me try to answer that. Okay. If you look at what the word dismissed means, it means our jurisdiction means authority. So they're telling you they don't have the authority because you didn't pay the $60. Okay, you didn't pay the $60.
Right.
Hey, okay, that doesn't make any sense. See, you can't be. If they don't have jurisdiction, it doesn't matter whether you paid the $60 or not.
Okay.
Okay, but remember, we're dealing with rocket scientists. at the government. So what happens is you're going to go in there and you're going to say to them, release my liens because here's my court order. They're going to say, well, it's because you didn't pay the $60, not giving them. So we can get a better one than that. So what this is what I would do. I would just refile it.
Let me ask you this. On that one, I refile with my docket number, or I refile it without any kind of information?
No, just redo it. And what
when
they'll do...
When you say redo it, you mean use my docket number?
No, you refile a complete, just like you did before. No docket number.
All right, gotcha. And it might be the same thing for the other one because basically there's no reasoning. They called me and they gave me a voicemail according to what they said. I don't know. I've not received anything. They admit that they don't know that they've even sent me lack of determination.
That one right there, you can redo it and tell the judge. If they can't find it, then that's good enough. That means they didn't do it.
What suggestion would you have, and for our listeners, what suggestion would you have in terms of, is that an objection at all? Or
no, just go back on their website, get a Form 2.
Right.
Okay, go at the bottom where it says a complaint, put a petition, write amended on it. That way it's an amended petition. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in there the same thing. And this time you're going to put in there, use what they gave you. Put it with it and say, I never received it. They're admitting they never gave it. So give me my, in other words, adjust it where
I got you. So in that case, I use the docket number.
In your case, you would use the docket number on that one because you're doing an amended petition. The other one, you don't. You just redo it because it's been dismissed. That one hasn't been dismissed yet, has it?
Well, they tell me when this, according to the clerk of the court, they tell me that when it's dismissed, that means that the IRS wins. That's what they tell me.
Okay. I understand.
That's what they tell me. They say, I guess it's a sort of a misnomer, if you will. But if I ask that question and I hear what you're saying, I'm going to get off the telephone. But how do you suggest, if there's something on this teleconference that you would suggest, and I understand that you've done it in the past, but what kind of suggestion do you have in terms of wording to the U.S. District Court?
Okay, here's the problem that they're having, that it was dismissed, so the IRS won. On my particular case, it says the reason they dismissed it is the IRS never gave me a notice of deficiency or notice of determination because of 6312 and 6313.
That's on mine, too. I did the same thing. Exactly.
It's mandatory. Okay, they have to give it to you. So how did the IRS win if they have to give you something and they didn't?
They acknowledged 6212, 6213A.
Okay.
They acknowledge that. They never said. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, then how did they win?
Well, that's what the court clerk told me that I've lost.
Okay, I understand it. So, if you're being sued by somebody, they're going to tell you anything they want. What I'm trying to tell you is that part that you have that says that. Take that, highlight that portion. It says on there, you didn't get a mandatory notice of deficiency, and you didn't get a mandatory notice of determination. That's what it says. So
I'm not going to argue that because everything that you said is exactly correct in terms of what.
Take that and run it back in there. Okay, take it, run it back through. Tell the court you want a more definite statement. Say, here's what it says. They can see it, highlight it. Here's what it says. I didn't get a mandatory whatever I was supposed to get. They're telling me I lost. I want the court to tell me that they have to release it. In other words, use what you have, no matter what it is. Because part of the thing is that on Friday, on the 18th, they sent me one thing. It was 4 pages.
And I just received.
That's perfect. If you read those 4 pages, it says keep that. That's better than the final.
Check out our other videos and playlists. Republic of Texas RT documentary. Texas and other American states is under a military occupation. The Republic of Texas Forum of 2016. And describe the kind of people who would thrive in independent Texas. And so check them out.
Order. It says in there that they didn't. You never received a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination. That's what it says. Take that. Okay, take that 4 or 5 pages. Go back on their web page. Download Form 2, and tell the judge, I'm asking to have this court tell the IRS they didn't send me what I have to have. Here's where it says it, and quote it. And then send it back in and say, I want you to tell them to release my liens and return my money.
Yes, sir. That's it. I'm going to do that, and again, I think the thing I was suggesting before you get off, before you end the phone call, the teleconference tonight, if you would, again, some kind of suggestion on wordage that we send to the district court.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're going to, first of all, the district court is a court of limited jurisdiction.
Okay.
So you're going to say you're a court of limited jurisdiction.
Okay.
Under that limited jurisdiction, do you have jurisdiction over the Internal Revenue Service?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Drop it in the mail and send it to them.
Gotcha.
Now, that's it.
Peace out.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you,
bud.
All
no
right.
problem. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have something? Oh, did I lose you, Ed? I guess not.
I'd like to ask.
Who's ever got the dogs, hit *6, please. All right, go ahead and ask.
Sure, I'd like to ask, on an amended petition, do you send a certificate of service to the opposing to the respondent?
No, don't worry about that. You're doing it to the court. Are you on a speakerphone? Because it's echoing for me.
Not me. I'm not on it.
Okay, who's ever got their echo, please hit *6. That's better. Okay, what you're going to do is just do the amended petition and mail it to the court. Don't worry about it. We don't do what they tell us to do. You do what if you do what they tell you to do, they're going to break it off in you. We're not letting that happen. We're doing it this way because this way works.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
It's not a problem. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Texas Scary, Texas Two-Step.
Okay, I know who this is.
Hey, has anyone gotten their U.S. District Court letter back?
By the silence, I'm going to say no, but we got some back that says they don't give legal advice. We have gotten that now, so we're starting to.
Well, yeah, like I told you, all we got back is for the handbook for non-prisoners, and that's not what we requested. So
right.
I'm going to pursue the U.S. District Court and trying to get an answer back from them. And my thinking is all we need is one letter. Anybody who gets a letter back will be able to use that.
I would assume. Okay, somebody's got the speakerphone on, please. If you will, please hit *6.
Okay, that's all I have to say. *6.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, is that it?
Hello.
Ed, did I lose? Okay.
Hello, this is George in the Houston area.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get any recognition for the fact that you were waiting for George. Okay. I sent in my 12277, whatever it was, back in April. Routing says, pardon?
I don't use a 12277. So you're outside of my wheelhouse. I don't use them. I know what it is, but I don't use them because I have never got them to work.
Okay, well, this is what my friend told me that you guys were doing, was sending in the 12277 and requesting a 668Y.
He lied to you then. That's all. That's the best way I can put it.
Okay, it's been a month and a half, and I haven't heard a bloody thing back. So what are you using to get the 668Y?
All right. I can't get you the 668Y. All I can do is take you to the court, and you can get that. The IRS doesn't have jurisdiction, and then you're going to have to work on that yourself. After you get that, then that 12277 might work. But I don't use the one. Go ahead.
That's what I've done. I've got my notice of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction, both from the IRS.
You didn't tell me that.
Okay, well, in the tax court. That's all was done. I turned around in early April, filled out the 12277, whatever it was, attached the court order and the copies of the 3 liens, and sent it in requesting a 668Y. And it's been like a month and a half. I know that they received the submission, and I have absolutely heard nothing.
All right. Well, if it were me, then this is what I would do. I would resend it. That's what I would do. I would resend it, and I would resend it. I would print 10 of them out, and I'd send it to 10 different offices.
Okay. Well, I sent it to the people that are on the liens as being the offices that initiated them. They were out of Nashville and Dallas.
All right.
But they didn't really distinguish which office in those centers. So I just went with whatever they had on the notice of lien.
All right. Well, I would do that. I'd send it back to them, and I'd send it to Ogden. I'd send it to Fresno. I'd send it to Memphis. I would just start sending them out.
Okay.
In this case, more is better.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
I mean, that's what I would do.
Okay, we're running in.
Cost us 50 cents.
Okay, we're running into a complication, though, in that I sent a certified copy with each one of them, the certified copy of the judge's order of dismissal, and that's like $5 a pop. So I only ordered.
Okay, and that's your problem. I told people every time, go get one. Go down to the local place and run off 100 copies. Now you got 100 copies of it.
Okay,
it's got
they're
the
not
judge's
They're not certified, though, whenever you do that.
Then go back to the court and order 100 more.
Yeah, at $5 a pop, that's a little bit. Okay, so you're saying that people have. Okay, so you're saying that people have used photocopied copies of the judge's order of a dismissal and got action with it.
There you go.
Okay,
Gary,
well,
I want to ask this guy a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you file an original certified copy in your courthouse? Tell the
clerk. Not yet. That was my next step.
Go down and do that. Tell that clerk you want the liens removed. She'll tell you they can't remove them because of records. But they should file your original certified copy on top of those liens, and in 2 or 3 weeks, go down there and pull up your name in the computer, and those liens will probably be gone.
Okay, that's what I heard the last time that the last conference call a couple of weeks ago. I just hadn't done it yet because I was kind of waiting to see, okay, am I going to get any action on that? So I've got this week free, and I'll go down there and do that and see what happens. One further question. One further nitpicky little question. When I sent in anything to the tax court, including the 12277 initial, every time it says taxpayer on that form, I scratch through it.
All right, why? What, really?
I'm not a taxpayer.
Okay. All right, let me ask you a question. Do you drive a car?
Oh, come on. I don't want to play the games. I'm telling you, I'm not a taxpayer. I haven't been since 1989. Okay. I'm not a taxpayer. I'm going to ask you one more time.
I'm going to ask you another time. I'm going to ask you again. Do you buy gasoline?
Of course I buy gasoline.
Okay, then you're a taxpayer. Now, here's my next question. Wait a second. Stop a second. You made a comment. Here's the problem. The IRS can't talk to you then because you're not a taxpayer. They're not going to talk to you. What difference does it? I have a letter that they sent me that says, "Dear taxpayer, you are not legally required to file a tax return." Now tell me, what does that mean?
Well, I did this once before whenever they sent me and threatened to send me a notice of tax lien, and I scratched it out. I wrote where it said type of tax to be protested, I put to be determined. They turned around and sent me a letter apologizing that they shouldn't have sent the other letter before and forget about the whole thing.
Okay, so, then you're on the wrong call. Then do it that way.
No, it's just it's back in the day. And I understand the point about being a taxpayer.
Wait a second. It ain't about you, bud. It ain't about you. Okay? It's about the IRS. Yes. It doesn't matter. All right? So then what difference does it make if you're a taxpayer or a three-legged, four-eyed guy? What difference does it make? It's still not about you. I get into this argument every week. See? You're saying, well, I'm not a taxpayer. Then why are you talking to a taxi? Why are you talking to a tax place? Somebody who's doing taxes. Why do you talk to them?
There's a lot of answers to that, Terry, but I won't.
That's right.
But I agree with you that I'm a taxpayer in the sense, and I realized that a long time ago, but I'm not a taxpayer on the income tax.
All right.
But anyway, I've got the suggestion to redo it, and if it comes to that, if I take this down there to the courthouse and they don't do it, then I'll redo it, keeping your suggestion in mind. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Can I piggyback a question off of that?
What?
Can I piggyback a question off that last statement?
Yeah.
A question. When you go down there and file them and the clerk says no, what do you say to the clerk?
Thank you, and go to records.
Thank you, and go to records. Okay.
What are you going to tell her? What are you going to do, slap her? I mean, you know.
Want to.
I know you do, but that's not going to work. So you just go to records and file it at records.
Okay.
Just make sure she stamps it, and files that paper, that certified copy.
Yep.
Better file it in them liens, on top of them liens.
Okay. And records of property taxes? In property? Because you go to records and you put it in property. That's what they file in records.
That's fine. You got it filed now, right? See?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
We filed a whole lot of stuff in there. Organic constitutions and everything else in there. So, yeah, we've done a lot of that stuff. Thanks.
Let me ask you this. Does it matter if the name is different? Like, for example, Michael versus Mike? The last word of the social is the same.
You see, I'm going to say it one more time, and I will not answer this again. It's not about you. All right? It's about them. Whether you're Mike, Michael, Philip, Bob, or a non-taxpayer, it's not about you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Kerry, this is Bob from St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
How you doing this evening?
If I was any better, I'd be twins. I'm great.
You'd have to charge, huh? I finally got a court order for my wife here. You know, the court told the respondent that they needed to send them copies of any notice of deficiency because they just said the record showed that they had them, but they didn't supply them. So the respondent did come back and with 3 notices of deficiency, but none of them were signed under penalty of perjury. So, we wrote them a nice little letter saying that, they don't rise to the to sufficient credibility as evidence because they aren't signed under penalty of perjury, blah, blah, blah. So we end up with this 2.5-page letter from the judge, which, is just citing. That's the first time I've seen this. They're citing all kinds of court cases and on and on and on and just go around in circles. And then the last sentence, it says,
our blog is texasrepublic.wordpress.com. Our website is thetexasrepublic.com. Our email address is oneyellowroseenterprises@gmail.com. Our YouTube profile is, this is the link because YouTube doesn't allow us to have a customized URL until we have over a certain number of subscribers. And follow us on Twitter at Texas Republic for You and at We Are Texians.
Because no notice of deficiency or no notice of determination sufficient to confer jurisdiction on this court has been sent to the petitioner, this case must be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. I mean, they spent 2.5 pages and then just said what we needed to hear. Now, so we've already ordered the copies of this, and we're real excited about that. One question I had, and because I keep hearing it, and you stated a few minutes ago, I understood you to say that when the judge says that he has no jurisdiction to hear a case, for some reason that also says the IRS has no jurisdiction. Is that what you said?
That's what it says. If they don't have jurisdiction, it doesn't matter. How can they hear a case that they don't have jurisdiction? The IRS doesn't have jurisdiction, and you don't have it.
Well, see, I haven't seen anything printing in here that said the IRS lacked jurisdiction. It's just the court lacks jurisdiction to hear the case. But does that equate?
No, what it says is, read your thing again. It says that the respondent didn't find or can't find the notice of determination, so the respondent is asking this court to dismiss this case. And then they tell you why. And that's where the problem comes. If you'll read your thing where it says respondent, put the letter IRS. Where it says petitioner, put your name there. Read it and read it and read it. Read it 3 or 4 times with your name and the IRS, and it'll come to you. It'll jump right out of the page at you.
Very good. We'll do that. I was wondering how you came to that. I'll do that. Okay, well, thank you very much, Kerry. I appreciate it.
Yeah, please do that, and then, if you will, let me know what it says after you do it that way.
Absolutely. Oh, and on the letters of the district court, from the district court, I've been mailing letters to the district court of, I think one of the district courts of Kansas City is who I chose because I've already been before the Chief Justice of the District Court of St. Louis, and I don't want to hear what he's got to say. But a friend of mine wrote 10 different Chief Justices, and the only responses he got back were 2 of them from Texas, and one of them was a lady that said, I'm not going to answer your question. I said, well, I didn't think that was an option. These people take an oath of office to inform and educate the public when necessary. This is not an option. I said, well, hang on to that letter. That's as good as gold because, I don't know, she might be committing treason by doing that, You could do something with that letter.
That's right. If they pick you up and say, we're going to the court, you're going to say, well, we don't know where they have jurisdiction. You can use that. Yes. Anything they tell you, you can use.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we're still plugging away at it. And I think as one of the earlier callers says, it doesn't really matter who the letter is addressed to. It's the content of the letter and by whom it is signed. That can be spread to everybody on the call because one letter is all that's necessary.
That's correct. And white out your name so that it doesn't go. And then
absolutely,
white out your name and your social, and then get it to us. That way, nobody knows where it came from. But
absolutely, and that's what we need. Now, did you get one of these letters from a district court?
I did. I got mine from Washington, D.C. I just can't find it. After I told you to do it, I realized I can't find mine.
Oh, no. Well, you need to call them up and tell them you need a certified copy of that.
Yeah, I wish I would. But
okay.
What that's going to do is that's going to just hang or help hold on to you. But
right. Well, the first one of us to get one, we need to supply it to you, and then you can get it out to everybody.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I have a question.
All right, I'll try to answer it.
Yeah. What's the most times that you had to put in an amended petition on anybody's, for anybody who has filed this process? I have done it once, and it's been a week. It's been served, but the IRS attorney haven't responded yet. But initially, they responded and said they had no knowledge or information. So I'm just wondering how many times in your experience that you know of anybody who's had to put in it 2, 3, 4 times before they get the order.
Usually two, but maybe 2. It doesn't go that many, but it could go 10. You don't understand. When I first started this, in 3 weeks, I got everything back in 3 weeks. Now, why is it taking so long? Because we're on a call, and we have thousands and thousands of them going to them every day. They don't know what to do with it. A lady the other day called the court and said, "Hey, I want my certified copies," and the lady went off on her. And I'm thinking to myself, what are they doing that for? She said, because we're slammed. She said, we're slammed. All we do are these certified copies, and we don't understand it. Well, we don't care if you understand it or not. So I don't think it's so much how many times you're going to have to do it. I just think that they're just that busy.
Well, what if the IRS attorney continues to say they have no knowledge or information?
Usually once.
What's that?
Usually once.
Okay. And then the judge will probably order them, give them an order to produce it?
Or they'll give you what you're asking for.
Okay.
Or they'll dismiss it because they don't. If they haven't got them or they can't find them, then there's only one reason for that. They didn't send them. The IRS don't lose nothing. They lose nothing. They know where everything is.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'm just waiting to see what happens then. It's just a little bit frustrating because I need it,
I understand.
Thank you.
Hey, Carrie, this is Frederick in San Antonio.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Carrie. Yeah, I was just want to let you know, we spoke not too long ago, probably last week sometime, and you told me about the docket number. And I checked it today, and they actually have on there where the letter for the court order for the lack of jurisdiction for dismissal. It's actually on its way to me right now.
That's what you want. When you get that, get some copies of it, because that's going to be better than the order, with the order, because they're going to say that it doesn't say this. It's going to tell you what it says.
Exactly. So I was just calling you just to let you know that, and so I'm going to be working on also trying to get the district courts to let me know that they don't have any jurisdiction over the IRS. So, but I sent another letter, and they didn't never respond to me. So I think they're just ignoring me right now.
Well, they're good about that.
All right, so I thought I'd just let you know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
Hi, Carrie. This is Ron in Tennessee. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Would this process work for somebody that has got an issue for not paying employment taxes, paying their employees? I guess a friend didn't pay the taxes over to IRS, and they're leaning them and going to take his house and everything else.
Okay.
Hello?
How can they tell you to do anything if they don't have jurisdiction?
I didn't hear you. You broke up.
Okay. If they don't have jurisdiction, what does that mean?
Well, I understand that, but because we've been doing it, for personal with notices of deficiencies, I don't know that they did a notice of deficiency. They're just coming after him. I guess I'll have to do a little bit more asking questions.
Okay. They didn't give him one. They unless they signed it properly, they didn't get one. So then he can just go in there and use his EIN number if he has it. You say the same thing, and it'll come back the same way.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll let him know.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Good. Carrie?
Yes?
Did I just cause a lot of feedback?
Yes?
Oh, shoot. We're connected to a speaker.
Yep. It's the speaker. I can hear
myself
right now.
Should I undo that? Okay. Let me pull that off. Okay. Can you hear me?
That's much better.
Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Okay, great. Okay, so here's my question. The first one is, whenever we send, because we only got 3 or 5 copies of the certified copies, and, we don't want to waste them. My thought was, because you can't, when you make a copy of the certified copy, you can't really see the signature very good, or the seal, the judge.
Right.
So my thought was hard certified copy available upon request on each of those. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I don't want them to not take us serious that that's the real thing. I'm not going to give it up because, they're probably shredding them.
Well, get you an extra one and get you a pencil and color it and kind of, or something, and smudge that raised part. Then when you copy it, it'll show up.
Oh, okay. Ron said he knows what you mean. Okay, and then my second question is, I'm not clear about taking my certified copy and putting it in the county, because we're in California and they're really brutal over here. So where's the first place we're going to try to go?
Well,
to record this certified copy?
Go to the county. If the county won't take it, then go to records. But take them a copy of the copy. If they say we won't take it unless it's a certified, then pull one out. Take one with you, then pull it out. If they'll take it without it, then don't give them one.
Yeah, so in the county recorder's office, there's different areas, right? So wherever the lien was, the lien on our property was placed, the notice of lien, that's the same place you want to try to get this recorded, right? And if she says no,
then go to records.
Then go to the records. Okay. And records is what? Land records? What is it?
Oh, we're records. Ask them; they'll tell you.
Okay.
It's a place where they do marriage licenses and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. And I do remember years ago that someone got very creative and they they told us how to get something done in the county, and it worked. And I think it was a utility. What was that? The cover sheet was a special kind of thing that they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And attached to it was the stuff we wanted to be recorded, and they took it with no problem. You know what that would have been?
I don't have a clue. No, I don't.
All right. Well, I'll pull that up. I'll send that to you, and maybe that'll be our way to get things recorded with that cover sheet document. She's like, oh, yeah, no problem. It's like they don't even look at what's behind it, but yet it's on the recording.
Right. It might be, if you go down there and ask them, they might have something, a form for you that you put on top. That's possible.
Well, I think what it is that over there they'll say, well, we can't tell you how to do it. I mean, they're very bad over here. So what I'll do is pull up the one prior. This was when we had a property many years ago we were fighting for, and someone told us you can, if you use this on top, you'll get it recorded, and sure enough, it was. So I'll look into that. I just needed to some clarification because we need to get this thing recorded.
Right, and then send it to me so I can look at it, and maybe we have one here, and maybe we have. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. Ed, have I lost you? Yeah, a little rabbit.
Hello, Carrie.
Have I lost you?
No.
Oh, all right. I just want to make sure.
I went on mute for a second, and I forgot I was on mute.
Yeah, okay. No, I heard something click, and I just want to make sure I didn't lose you.
No, you're okay. Next question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Carrie.
How are you?
I haven't. Great. I got this back from the court, from the tax court. It says it's an order of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction. But what it says the court's order dated February 27, 2018 for payment of the filing fee has not been complied with. The filing fee in this case has not been paid, and no application for waiver of filing fee has been filed. Accordingly, it is ordered that this case is dismissed for lack of jurisdiction on the ground that the filing fee has not been paid, and that's signed by the judge.
Okay.
So
yours has been dismissed, so just start over.
Okay, just start over, and don't do anything different. Do the same thing exactly.
Different. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay.
Hey, Carrie, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Hey, this is Mark, and I've had I sent an amended petition in in March. And have not heard anything back. Is there a way that you can look it up online?
Yeah, you can look it up online.
Okay, tell me.
Just go on their website, the U.S. Tax Court. Go to docket inquiry and put in the docket number, and it'll pop right up.
Okay. Thank you.
Anytime.
X. Well, is that all the questions?
This is Matt. How's everyone this evening? So,
all right.
I'm new, and I submitted 2 petitions, one for myself, one for my wife. And on April 25th, we got the notification of receipt of petition, and it had two indications on there, one about the $60 filing fee, and then the other was to let me know that I requested the place for the trial. That's in Columbia, South Carolina.
That's okay.
So that's April 25th. So it seems like things are going the direction we want them to go. The distinction I need some clarity on is, while this is going on at the U.S. Tax Court, I keep hearing this other conversations about district courts. Is that something in addition to the process?
Yes. What that's for, if the CID, that's the Criminal Investigation Division, comes after you, where are they going to take you?
Probably to the district court.
Okay, the district court does not have jurisdiction because the CID is alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So what we're doing is we're writing a letter to them asking them if they have jurisdiction on the IRS. Because if they're truthful, they'll tell you no. Then if the CID comes, when you get there, you hand them that, and it's over. This is just something prior. It's kind of like maintenance. You don't have to change the oil on your car. You don't have to. But if you don't, eventually the engine will go. You'll pay for it.
Okay, and is there any particular district court? Is it the state or the federal?
Yes, it's The CID only goes to the United States District Court. I'm telling you to go to the Washington D.C. one. Because we want to inundate them, but not just that. It's out of your district. They don't have any dog in the fight. If you go to the one you're close by, they have you're there, and it's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay, so Washington D.C. And then is it best to go to the clerk, or because
it's better.
I think I've been hearing that judges
go to the clerk.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Go to the clerk.
All right. All right, and then just send that letter or call them, or both, all of the above, probably.
Yeah, all the above. Just all the above.
Okay, so once you have that back in hand, what's the next step then from the U.S. Tax Court? It's going to be a second letter or
No, probably another letter, but not to the tax court. But it depends on what you're trying to do. See, I don't know where you got what you're trying to do. Do you have a lien or a levy? Okay,
no, there's a notice of levy, but I haven't received the third notice. So it seems like it's.
Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to like this video. And don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. Here's the front page of the channel. The bottom arrow is pointing at the subscribe button that's normally red until you click on it, and this one turns white after you subscribe. And the right one is the arrow. The top arrow is pointing to the bell. Now, the bell doesn't show up until after you click the subscribe button, and then the bell will show up. And that way you can be notified of new uploads.
Limbo. And I have not received any notification of any kind of lien process yet.
Okay.
Just to notice the levy. It was a second notice, I think.
Okay, if you can get it before that it comes, just return that just send that back to who sent it to you, and they should back down.
Should I send it with the last notice that they sent or statement?
That would be fine.
It speeds up
after you get it.
Okay.
Yeah, after you get it, that would be fine.
All right, that's starting to add a little more clarity because it sounds like most of the callers are in the actual lien part of this whole thing, and that's
they're already there. Yeah, they're already there.
And then that's a separate process to go to your county clerk.
That's correct.
And to get it expunged or whatever. Okay. All right, that helps me. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Kerry. It's Mark again.
All right.
Okay, so I just looked it up on the web, and it appears that Chief Judge Paige Marble issued it yesterday, and
there you go.
So they've kind of taken their time, aren't they? But
yeah, they are. But it's working. In a couple of days, you'll get it in the mail.
So order dismissal for lack of jurisdiction. So what do I need to do now? Because I need a certified copy.
Yeah.
And they're going to send. The one that they send is not certified, right?
That's correct. You're going to call back and order as many as you want. They're $5 a piece.
Yeah. All right.
So you already got it.
Yeah. And you want me to read it to you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I know you know what it says and stuff, but it's just because of the amended petition. Some people out there might be in the same situation. Anyway, it says
absolutely.
Order of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction. On March 20th, 2018, respondent filed a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction on the ground that no notice of deficiency or notice of determination was issued to petitioner for tax years 1980 through 2017 that would permit petitioner to invoke the court's jurisdiction. Although the court...
Now, stop right there. Who wrote that letter?
Chief Judge...
Correct.
Paige
but if you will, read it again. When it says petitioner, put your name there, or just say me, and then under respondent, say IRS, so they can hear that. This makes a big difference.
Okay. On March 20, 2018, respondent, that's me, filed a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. Oh, no, respondent, that's them.
That's right.
IRS.
See? You see how better it reads? The IRS asked to
filed
do this.
A motion to dismiss
there you
for
go.
lack of jurisdiction on the ground that no notice of deficiency or determination was issued to me for tax years 1980 through 2017 that would permit the IRS to invoke the court's jurisdiction.
There it is. See that?
Although the court directed Although the court directed me to to file an objection, if any, to respondent's motion to dismiss petitioner.
Wait a minute. Who's the respondent?
I failed to do so.
All right.
Upon due consideration, it is ordered that the respondent's motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction is granted.
I forgot. Who's respondent?
That's me. No, that's IRS.
There you go. So the IRS said they don't have jurisdiction. Had nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you. See that?
Yeah. So
what you have now is you're going to have, and then call back and get you some certified copies. What it says is the IRS doesn't have jurisdiction because the IRS said so.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good deal.
All right.
Thank you for about these orders. I have an order that says, or I know of an order that says, no notice of determination under IRC Section 6020 or 602030 was issued to petitioner for taxable years 2004 through 2015. Does it matter if it says the 6320 or 6330 was issued to petitioner to me? Does it?
No. Go on Title 26 and read what it says. It says it's mandatory. They have to do it. They have no options.
So why the difference in orders? Why some orders are saying the 6320 and 6330 opposed to the one that my friend just read here? The guy before me doesn't say that.
Right, because it's different attorneys. They're trying to stop what we're doing. They want to know, so they're going to try everything they can to stop what we're doing because they want this to go away. They want it to go away. They're trying to find a way. What can they word? How are they going to word this to get us to stop?
Okay. Yeah, because I heard they watered down the orders the best they could.
They
say
could
it without saying it.
Yep, but they still can't do it because they didn't do it. They didn't give us what they had to do. The law tells them what they have to do, and they're not doing it. So how do they stop this onslaught from coming after them? I don't know. They can't stop it. It's too late now. They've cheated the people. Sorry about this. They cheated the people. Is all they can cheat them. Now the people have spoken. So this is not about. See, it's not about you. See, nowhere on there did it say anything about you. It's not about anybody. It's about the IRS and what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Hey, Kerry, I got a question.
Oh, good night. Okay.
If these cases where they're dismissing the cases strictly for not filing the $60, isn't that court committing fraud there?
Well, they are, but we don't care about that. We do care maybe later, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them a something they can work with. We're trying to get them some tools. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get them the tools. After we get to your tools, you can go back then and do whatever you want with it. See, look how much trouble I've had several people tonight want to tell me all kind of crazy stuff. See, can you imagine now? See, it's just a matter of some people just can't deal with the fact. See?
There you go.
And that's, not that we can't do something about it. But if you change anything on it, you're going to have half the people not knowing what to do.
Right.
As simple as it is. They're still struggling.
There you go. Next question.
I have a question for you.
Well, I'll try to answer it. I don't know if I can, but I'll try.
All right. I'm still waiting for them to answer. They sent the order petitioner by 5/4/18 shall file an objection to respond to this motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And so the time for me to respond is expired it's come and gone. So how long does it take for them to respond, or in different situations, depending on the attorney, they might just try to stretch it out?
There you go. You know, I can't tell you that because, see, what they're doing is wrong. What they're doing they can't do, but they're doing it anyways. So when are they going to stop being thieves? I can't tell you that either. We're doing the best we can to get, so it's just going to take what it takes. Now, what you can do is call the court. Call the court. The lady that answers the phone, say, here's my docket number. What's taking so long? And she'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
We're slammed. We're too busy. They'll tell you. Well, when do you expect it to be released? She'll tell you. See?
Okay.
I can't tell you that because, you know, I would spend all my time on there asking that question. But just call it. The number is on the website.
Okay. In the meantime, it'll just be in limbo, right?
Well, it's going to be in limbo. That's correct. Until they do something about it. When are they going to do it? I can't tell you that. I don't really know. You know, I wish it was sooner than later, but it's not always sooner than later. It's just going to be when it's going to be, whenever that is.
Okay. All right.
I think these attorneys are causing the delays.
Say that again?
I think these attorneys are ones causing all the delays.
I think so. And I think they're doing it because that's all they can do now.
Right.
I want you to understand how I get 50 or 60 calls or emails a day. Ed probably gets double of that. So what we got is the attorneys can't keep up.
Okay. Hey, I got one more question there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got one more question because I got another jurisdiction case at the state level.
All right.
And so I'm wondering, since the state is a subsidiary of the United States or the federal government, and they don't have jurisdiction, then how does the state have jurisdiction? That's the question that I want to bring up. So what I'm wondering is do you know, or does anybody know on a call where it's stated that the states are subsidiaries of the federal government?
Yes, I'll tell you, unless somebody else wants to. Okay, what you're asking me is, first thing you do is call the state. Ask the state, how do you do your tax? Don't get ugly with them. Let them tell you we're subsidiary of that. Now you have something that the feds can't do. The other place to look, go to Title 31, Section 3124. And then it will define it at Title 18, which is Crimes and Criminal Procedures. Title 18, Section 8 will define what you just read in 3124. When you see that, then you'll understand where we're going with this.
Okay, very good.
Are you in front of your computer now?
Yeah, I am, but it's pretty slow. So.
Okay, don't worry about it then. But for those of you that want to look it up, look up Title 31. That's Money and Finance, Section 3124, and then 18 and 8. Look those two up and read them. Understand them. Then call your state and say, hey, how come I don't know how to fill out my tax return? Tell me, how do I know? Then they're going to tell you, you follow the feds. Then you take your letter and send it to them. Say, well, you said the feds, and here's the feds that they don't have jurisdiction. Since they don't have it, how do you have it? And then wait on it. Watch what happens. But ask. Don't ever tell. Just ask.
What's that section again, Kerry?
What section? Section 31, 3124. And then Title 18, Section 8. If you get it,
would you mind telling us what the revocation of election is with the IRS after this process is done?
Yes, if you look in 63, what is it? What it does is, if you look up the word revocation in the dictionary, it's you're leaving. What you're doing is you're leaving the tax court. The tax club. Basically, what you're doing is you're leaving the tax club. This is going to clear you up from now all the way back as far as you go, and the revocation of election will clear you up from taxes from this point forward.
Okay. Do you all help with that when the time comes? Or?
I can help you with that. If you get with Ed, let him give you my number and call me, and I'll get you, and we'll discuss it, and I'll show you where it tells you and all of that. But
all right, and this is Matt again, and I just looked up my docket number, and there's nothing new as of April 25th. So apparently they're really inundated. Or it looks like,
which is good. Call them tomorrow on the phone number that's on the website. See, and after you call them, say, hey, it shouldn't take this long.
And in the next letter I'm looking for is the order of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction, or is there something in between?
I don't know where you're at right now, but there could be something in between.
Okay. Yeah, because I have some friends. They're not on the call tonight, but they said they got something that was not quite the final order, but
then they're going to get the final order after that.
Yeah. All right. So, what is the average time frame? Would you say is it about 3 months minimum? Around 3 months or less, or?
It used to be less, but you used to get it in 3 to 4 weeks. Now it's out 6 or 8. Yes. So why is it out 6 or 8 weeks now?
Mine took 5.
There you go.
5
so,
months.
Yeah, I'm about on that threshold then, because it's been about a month. Okay.
Mine's been going on for 6 months.
This is Florida. See? Can you take my call?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes, I'm going to put my husband on. He has a question he hasn't been able to get across to you. Hold on, please.
All right. Hey, Ed, did I fall off?
We can still hear you, Kerry.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
All right.
I had to mute for a second. My dog was messing up.
Yeah. Well, she asked a question, then she disappeared. I thought maybe it was me. Okay.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Kerry, hi. This is Dave in Florida. You and I spoke about 3 or 4 days ago.
Yes, we did.
And I am reciting from line 17 or bullet item 17 on my notice of dismissal, and it says, petitioner, of course being me, has neither produced nor otherwise demonstrated that a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination concerning collection action sufficient to confer jurisdiction on this court, and this case should therefore be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. That doesn't seem to be the same thing I'm hearing people say, wherein the respondent does not have jurisdiction. Can you help me to understand how my letter is sufficient?
Because you got it from a different attorney. He's trying to say you didn't send what you didn't get. Answer that
correct.
Back. Just answer it back. Make it look just like that and answer it back. I want to give it to you, but I didn't receive it. If I did, bring it forth.
In other words, they should have a copy of this if they've sent it.
Do you know anybody, anytime ever, that the IRS has lost anything?
No, never.
Okay, so if they say we can't find it, what are they saying?
It doesn't exist.
There it is.
Okay. Now, you may recall... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, so that's your answer. Just get Form 2, refill it out, and say this is your answer. I can't give you what I don't have.
You mentioned to me in our conversation that, I don't have the document here in front of me, but I went ahead and constructed a response citing fraud. In other words, because they had filled out an SFR, substitute for return, they did that fraudulently because they're not authorized to do that for a Form 1040.
Yep.
Now, is that going to be mailed? Obviously, I'm needing to get that to the tax court prior to them dismissing for lack of jurisdiction, right?
Send it tomorrow. Mail it to them to the same address you did before.
Okay. And that would be the grounds to bar them from dismissing my
okay, I'm not an attorney. I don't know.
Sure.
You know, have you ever known them to follow any law?
File what?
The IRS, do they follow any law?
A lien at all? I'm not understanding you.
Any law?
Oh, of course not.
Okay, so you're asking me a question. The law says, yeah, that will happen, but I don't know what they'll do.
Okay. But, I mean, it's obvious. Would you agree that my notice to dismiss does not contain the same verbiage that the vast majority of people who I've been hearing recite their document?
But their document is the final order. Let's see what the judge says. That's just the attorney's answer.
Okay.
So once you get the judge is going to come back and say, duh, how can you send it if he doesn't have it? See, that's what the judge will say. So the judge will probably catch that and say that.
Well, now, you know, I really kind of snapped to item 17 out of a 4-page document, and there are many other reasons in here that they're indicating. I mean, for example, in item 15, the petition was not filed within the time prescribed by blah, blah, blah. The petition was not filed within the time prescribed. This is basically what they are indicating. And, of course, when I send the idea back that they did a substitute for return and citing fraud, there is obviously no statute of limitation on fraud.
See?
Okay.
There you go.
So I think that'll answer my question. I'll just post-haste get this thing out certified back to the court tomorrow.
There you go.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it then?
Yeah, let's see what we got. We got about 10 minutes if there's any more questions. Or if somebody wants to give us a big fat hallelujah or something. So, if there's not any more questions, let's see here. I got to look see when the next call is. Just a second.
We'll call. Well, then go ahead and ask it.
Yeah. So I'm at 3124 Read it. Okay, stocks and obligations of the United States government are exempt from taxation by a state or political subdivision of the state. The exemption applies to each form of taxation that would require the obligation, the interest on the obligation, or both, to be considered in a computing a tax except.
Don't worry about that. That's a regulated field, so that doesn't count. So stocks and obligations of the federal government are exempt from taxation by a state or a political subdivision of a state. Now go to 18.8, and it will define that for you.
You mean B or A?
18.8.
Oh,
Section 8.
Yeah. Okay, man. Like I said, my computer's pretty slow, so it's going to take me a while to get that.
Okay, if somebody else has it, can read it, that would be fine.
Our next call will be June the 12th.
Okay, now, do you understand what he read? Stocks and obligations of the federal government are exempt from taxation?
Yeah, we're the stock, right?
Well, read it. It's going to define it for you. You're going to find out. As soon as it pops up,
I should pull it up. While we're waiting, I'm in my docket number on the website, ustaxcourt.gov.
Yes.
And the bottom line says order for filing fee on, and it gives a future date of June 11th, 2018.
Okay. You're going to have to wait till June the 11th to see what they do.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's no point in calling in the interim. I got it. That's what I figured.
No.
Okay.
Yep. There's no point in calling them. You're just going to have to wait and see what they say.
Yeah, that's around the same anyway.
Has 18.8 popped up yet?
I got it.
Are you saying 18A?
18.8, the number 8, after 7, before 9.
The term obligation or other security of the United States includes all bonds, certificates of indebtedness, national bank currency, Federal Reserve notes, Federal Reserve bank notes, coupons, United States notes, Treasury notes, gold certificates, silver certificates, fractional notes, certificates of deposits, bills, checks, or drafts for money drawn by or upon authorized officers of the United States, stamps and other representatives of value or whatever denomination issued under any act of Congress, and canceled United States stamps.
Okay, stocks and obligations, but Federal Reserve notes and checks and credit cards. Does anybody have anything that they know what they're talking about? Is anybody's property taxes written in those things? They can't be taxed. That's what the law says.
Black and white.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes.
What I wanted to tell everybody was when we had done our process, I had gotten my letter of, well, first off, I got a call from the attorney in the city where we said we would have the hearing or whatever. And he called and said, just want to let you know, this is going to be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. Do you have any problem with that? I said, absolutely not. And then they called my husband and asked him about his. And he said, no, I don't. So then immediately I got a letter that basically said it's a lack of jurisdiction, right?
The court order.
My court order.
Yep.
But Ron, my husband, he hadn't gotten his, and he kept checking the docket, and it just wasn't showing. So he called the clerk and said, hey, this has been going on for a while, and why am I not getting mine since my wife got hers like a week ago? She said, the judges haven't signed it maybe. Well, turns out that call prompted them to show it on the docket like the next day. It was there. It just hadn't been scanned. And then the other thing was, what was I going to say? You just brought up, or you just said something. Oh, okay. This is an interesting point. When my husband realized that I got my letter, my court order, and then he hadn't got his, he called the attorney that had called us. And he said, hey, this is so-and-so, and I just wanted to say, my wife got her court order and in the mail, but I'm still waiting for mine. He goes, yeah, I noticed that. That made me think he was paying close attention.
Yep.
And I thought that was awesome.
Yep. See, what's happening is they're trying to get around this. They're trying to figure out how do we stop this.
But there is no getting around it.
No, there isn't, because they're saying what they did was wrong.
Yeah.
And the court's agreeing with them.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I just had to throw that out there for all the people that are getting a little nervous that it's taking longer. It's only because the floodgates have opened, and it's just going to take them a while to get through all this.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're going to call it a night. Unless anybody got one quick question. If you have, speak up quickly.
Okay. So you would suggest if your case is just lingering, like I'm a good month past the date where I was ordered to object to their motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, and the order still hasn't issued, so I should just give them a call?
Call them and say, I have no objection, and then hang up.
To the attorney or to the clerk?
Just call the clerk. Tell the clerk, hey, my docket number is, here it is. I have no objections. And then when she starts in on you, just hang up.
Sounds good.
They're now trying to chew your butt out.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks a lot, Kerry.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kerry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.